This is a screen you'll find when you get into the truck. You'll see it quite simply. It'll have all of our registered. This is obviously dummy information. Now, one of the most important things is if your name's not there, it may be that you're an inactive user, which means that you haven't logged in anytime soon. So we'll actually say inactive users on the side here. But we've currently got all the active users. So we're just going to log in as Patrick. So we're going to Patrick. Now, again, we're just using dummy information. So we'll just use the default PIN and we're into the system. Very simple. Couple of things to go through. So number one is obviously being able to check current orders. So we can see that we already had an order for Patrick. If there was orders for delivery, they could be here as well if they haven't bumped through to the bump it screen, which we'll go through later. Again, you can merge orders, you can split them, very, very simply, pretty basic there. So if we go back, one of the most important things before we do a transaction is asking the customer their name. Now in the notes, we can then enter obviously their name, and then that will come up on the receipt, so that when we do the purchase, we don't just read out a number, we can all have to read out the order, we can read out the person's name, and then they can come up and pick it from the counter. All right, so this is how we set up our POS screen. Very simply, all we need to do is operate it. It's very intuitive. So we have options like burgers, coffee and tea. We've got drinks, hot dogs, sides. All of it's obviously laid out quite easily. So to do an order, we just click on burgers. It'll ask us if we'd like to add anything or remove anything. So in this case, we're going to add some barbecue sauce. Would we like to remove anything off the item? So we're going to remove some mustard. We're going to add chips to the burger as well to make it a meal. And then obviously we're going to add a drink as well. Now if we just hit save down the bottom, it'll automatically do it for us. And you can see there everything's laid out. So for $21, we've got our items. And we're going to add a side as well. So we'll add a cheeseburger spring roll. It'll obviously ask us what sauce we want. So we're going to go with honey barbecue sauce. And we won't add anything on that one. So we'll just go through the process. You can see everything's $31. We hit checkout, and then we choose the option that's required, either cash or credit card. Okay, so to edit an order once the order's been entered in, as you can see, we've got an Americano, a regular fries, a Coke, and a cheeseburger spring roll there. If we wanted to edit the Americano, we can just click on it. We can then change the quantity. In this case, we're going to change it to 2. And then we can also change the options. So we've got the ability, in this case, going to remove the mustard, and we're going to hit save. And as you can see, it's now been removed. Refunding, you'll need to have supervisor access to do so. So if you don't have access, you'll need to get a supervisor to do this. But for the supervisors, we'll show you exactly how it works. So first of all you need to do is, you can see we've got a transaction there for $76. We just go to the top left-hand corner, we click on the 3 lines, we go to history, we can then see our transactions. So we've obviously got transaction 1 and transaction 2. We can then just go directly in and hit refund on that item, and we refund the sale. Once we've refunded the sale, we can choose what we're refunding. So we don't have to refund everything. We could just do the Coke, or we could do just the Americana, or we can hit refund all. In this case, we'll just do the Coke and the Americana. And then obviously you need to then choose what we are refunding to. So in this case, we're going to choose cash. And that refund's taken place. So we take the money out of the till and hand it to the customer. One of the most important features that everyone in the truck must use is the wastage feature. So if we have some chicken that may have gone off because it's been sitting there too long, or a bag of buns that's too flat and can't be used, they must be wasted. So that allows us to keep an accurate count of our stock counts. So to access that location, it's very easy. We click on the top 3 lines up the top here. We click on that. We go down to add-ons, and we'll see the tab that says wastage. Now, when we click on wastage, this is where we obviously put in what we've thrown out. So we choose the product. Now, all you need to do is just type it in. So we're going to say burger buns. The reason is that they've expired or stock damaged, whichever one you like. In this case, we're going to say stock damaged. Then we're going to say it was 1 unit, so we're going to say that it was a full bag, which is 10 buns, and click OK. We record that wastage. Now what that will do is then deduct those 10 buns off our stock count, so that when the managers go and place their ordering, they're aware that that's been disposed of. So everything moving forward that we throw out, or essentially the word wastage, must be recorded in the system. And it's very easy to do, takes you about 30 seconds. Sometimes a customer will ask for a receipt. Now, as you're all aware, we use the bump it screen, so we don't use a receipt printer. But to send a receipt is really quite easy. So down the bottom here, you'll see that there's a cog. So we click on that cog and we can email the receipt to the customer. So by clicking on email receipt, we just enter their email address in and it will automatically email the customer a receipt for tax purposes. Everything else here in regards to surcharges, discounts, reprints, all of that is already taken care of. So the only feature that you need to use in that space will be email receipt.